What's up, guys? Pokeepisode here, and I got a nice little video for you here, or at least I think it is. And I think it'll be some good information for everybody because I've been around the Pokemon community for quite a while, and I've seen some things happen, and I think this is a really big thing. So remember, guys, like and subscribe. Let us know what you think of the channel, and we appreciate it. We're getting subs almost every day or every other day, and it's awesome. So I appreciate it. I appreciate all the emails, all the comments, just the people I've met in the community. So what are we going to start with today? Well, I want to go on. I wouldn't say it's a rant or like a tirade or something like that. Like I want to just talk about Pokemon by an Excel. People have made videos about it. I don't. I don't fully agree with a lot of the people online what they're saying about it because I just don't think they're looking at the basic economics of it and why it would happen. So like a business 101 type deal. But let's look at the article. So at Poke Beach, they had the article where TPCI to acquire TCG distribution Excel Brands in the United States. If you know anything about this, Excel usually is going to pretty much do distro for most of these stores here. I think there's actually a couple of them. So this is what they do distro of. They got Pokemon Tops, Magic Lacana, everything there is, to be honest with you. But people with Excel, it's not just Pokemon cards. They can do gift cards. They can do actually greeting cards. They can put DVDs, whatever it is. They're just there to help stock stuff. They're not doing like the beer, the pop, the chips, and stuff like that. They're doing more of the stuff that are the products where people are going to buy as for gifts. Okay, so these are a lot of the stores they do it at. Of course, the big ones on here are Target. Walmart is not a huge Excel person because they typically do not use Excel for their games. They use MJ Holding. So they're buying this is what Pokemon's doing. Now, when we start looking at stuff, you have your primary and official distribution, then you have your secondary one. So Excel's at the top of it, and then Alliance. Alliance and Excel, they're two huge ones with number 5 at Southern Hobby. If you have a small distro as just a local card shop or someone that has just a little bit of distro selling out of their basement, maybe, Southern Hobby's a big one there. They usually do a pretty good job there. MJ Holding's at number 6. And MJ Holding, they've been alleged to have a shell corporation kind of that is GT Collectibles is what it is. So GT Collectibles and MJ Holding have the same home office, and what the alleged thing is, I don't want to get in any legal trouble because I doubt they're going to find my channel and sue me, but they could. Um, or MJ Holding gets a bunch of stuff from distro and they hold it in their warehouse and they bring it out and sell it when it's 4 or 5 times the value. This is why you'll go to a Walmart restock and see maybe Alakazam boxes, just 2 of them though. You'll see those just sitting on the shelves. Sometimes they start to run out of warehouse space. Probably, they probably have pallets of these laying around potentially. And with that being said, sometimes they have to clear room, and so they start putting stuff out. Now, if you go to a Walmart restock and they have 2 Alakazam boxes, there is 0% chance that Pokemon is taking the time to package the Alakazam boxes, 6 of them to a sealed case, and then pulling 2 of them out, just shipping another box to send to MJ Holding. It's not happening. Or any of these distros, to be honest, they're divvying this up as they get it. So Pokemon, Pokemon, they sell the product to distro. You have the list in front of you. Distro then distributes to the stores they have. Okay. Now, Excel Brand and Alliance, they usually stick to the schedule pretty good, where they don't like to do stuff before the street date. MJ Holding doesn't care. They'll put stuff out typically. I mean, we're talking. I've been to restocks as early as a Tuesday, so usually it's anywhere on Thursday and Friday. But there's nothing that's going to stick them to that. Where Excel Brands, if they typically stock on a Wednesday, let's say, they will wait till the next week to do it. So what does this mean for Pokemon? What's this mean for Excel? Well, think of it in the terms of like Grubhub. Okay. If you want to buy the 10-piece chicken nugget from McDonald's, it's going to cost you like $5. If you want Grubhub to bring it to you, it's going to cost you like $15. Well, McDonald's gets their 5. The person delivering it to you is going to get their 10, and you get your food. If you're okay with paying the high prices, there's no problem. But at some point, someone's going to complain and say, why is it that I'm paying double the person to bring me this food when I only should have paid $5 at McDonald's? I could have drove there and got it. That's the thing, though. It's a convenience fee. And right now, Pokemon's paying the convenience fee to these guys. So if they have an Ascended Heroes ETB and they sell it to Excel Brand for $20, Then Excel Brands sells it to Target for $40. Pokemon makes 20, Excel makes 20, Target sells it to us for 60, they make 20. Everybody's happy. Well, what if Pokemon takes that $20 item and sells it to Target for 40? Pokemon makes $40. Companies with this size, with this acquisitions, they can do this stuff because they're going to pay for their facility within a number of years by cutting out the middleman. And that's the thing is, if you cut out the middleman, there's more profit. We all know this. This is just business talk. So if you cut out the people that are going to do stuff, if you want to get your lawn fertilized and you're like, you know what, I'm not going to pay someone to do it. I'm going to go to the store and buy this stuff. You'll do it for a fraction of the price because you cut out the middleman. Okay. Now, if you could make your own fertilizer, you could definitely cut out the middleman. That's just not the case. Excel brand distributes for Pokemon. Pokemon says, you know what? What if we buy Excel brand? Then we'll distribute for ourselves. But we need a facility that can print the stuff, though. Oh yeah, we bought that. It's in North Carolina. It's huge. It's millions of square feet or something. Well, so we still have to have trucks. They bought a trucking line. They bought a trucking line that was going out of business. So they have a facility to print. They have places to distribute it, and they have trucks to take it to the stores. What else does Pokemon need at this point? Now, if I'm Pokemon, I probably wouldn't change the name. I'd keep it as Excel. But all those checks are going to go in the same bank account. Now, what's this going to do is I think this is going to cause a snowball effect. I think Excel eventually is going to keep branching out, and I think it really does get the Walmart contract eventually. That's just me, but I think, the rich get richer type deal. I think Excel brand will expand enough. You have to realize that Pokemon, they're printing anywhere from 12 to 14 billion cards a year. In the first 20 years of Pokemon, we're talking from 2019 to 1999, they didn't even print probably that many cards in total. In the last 5 years, Pokemon's printed more cards than they ever had the previous 20 years. The product's there. The product's getting put out there, but where is the product? And Pokemon, I think this is the way to combat it. I think they're saying, you know what? We're sick of, selling stuff to distro and they're holding on to it. So we're just going to start doing it ourselves. We need to print more cards. They bought a facility. We need to get the cards distributed. They bought a distributor. We need to get the cards to the stores. They bought a trucking company. They have every aspect of it. And so if the other companies that buy from Pokemon, they want to get bigger allocations, like MJ Holding, Gold River Distribution, Peach State Hobby Distribution, Entertainment Earth, all these ones from 6 through 17, they're going to have to start playing ball a little bit with Pokemon. Otherwise, I think Pokemon cuts them out. That's just my opinion. I'm not saying that's guaranteed, but that's what I'm seeing right now. So, do I think it's a great thing that Pokemon bought this? I think it really is. Do I think Pokemon's going to put out a ton of cards? Yes, I think Pokemon is going to hit the $15 billion card mark here in 2027. That's just my prediction, but I think they're going to hit that. And then I think they're eventually, I don't think they ever get above 20 billion, but I think they're going to hover. And that's worldwide, all languages and stuff is the amount of cards they print there. But the other word is, too, is that Pokemon's not going to ship overseas anymore from being printed in the U.S. They're not going to ship from the U.S. to Europe and stuff like that. So everything's going to stay home here. So I think more product is to come. But them buying Excel brand, I think it's a good idea. I listened to Nostalgianomics State of the Market. He kind of talked about it. I don't quite agree with him. He doesn't think anything will change with it. And maybe I misinterpreted that, but I didn't agree with it. I think Alex is a phenomenal YouTuber. I subscribed to him when he was probably right around 9,000 subs, I suppose, and I've seen the growth he's had. He's done a great job, but I just don't agree with him on this. He's very financial savvy. The other one, too, is a non-TCG. A non-TCG usually has a lot of good stuff he talks about. I'm still surprised that Anon only has 7.7 thousand subscribers. Because Anon puts out really good material. It doesn't always have the facts to back it up, but I get the idea and the point, and I really do like that. So, I would love to reach out to Anon and be able to talk to him and pick his brain, but does a great job. The sub count always drove me nuts. I can't figure out why he has so few subs, but that's kind of the thing I've been kind of looking at, guys. I just, if Pokemon's going to buy Excel, then I think they're going to be able to corner the market and stuff. Now, if you go on the S&P 500 and you type it in your computer and say, hey, I want to invest in Pokemon, you can't just go and invest in their ticker. They're owned by a conglomerate of different things, Nintendo being one of them. So if you want to invest in Nintendo, essentially invest in Pokemon a little bit. Kind of like with PSA. All right. PSA bought Beckett. They're not changing Beckett. They're keeping the same way it is. But PSA is cornering the market right there. They're a private traded entity. Pokemon's not much different there. Now, people are like, oh, they're going to print more cards for people to play and stuff. That's not true, guys. Like, it's not true. If you want to build a good deck when you're playing, you can go to the store and buy a deck. And any card that is worth its weight in salt, and it's a great card to buy that starts going up on TCG Player. I mean, take for instance the Pal Pad or the Poke Pad, whatever we have right now in Ascended Heroes. It's a $6 card. The next battle deck that comes out will have 3 or 4 Pokepads in there, guaranteed, because they want to make it so the game is easy to play for everybody. You don't have to spend a fortune on a deck. You can build a deck very cheap. Don't buy all the secret rares. You can buy just the regular EXs. It does the same thing. So if people are thinking like, well, they're going to print more cards for the people that play, no, it's the collectible hobby, guys. It's not the people that play it. The TCG game is part of it, but the collectible hobby aspect and the investing side of it is the bigger part of it. Now, I had someone message me and they said, hey, would you be interested in Pokemon cards if they had serialized numbered cards? And I said no. The reason for it is because Magic the Gathering does that. They had the Chocobo here for Final Fantasy, and then for for Lord of the Rings, they had the Golden Ring, one ring to rule them all. Post Malone bought it from a guy for $2 million. Graded out as a PSA 9. They didn't grade that card for a PSA 10. They graded it for authentication. But if Pokemon ever did that, you'd see a collapse in the Pokemon industry because people don't want that. They like the fact that there's a finite number of the great cards out there, but we don't ever know what that number is. Pokemon's very hush hush on their numbers. The closest thing we have to serialized numbered cards is the God Pack. You have the ability to have a God Pack, and that's what people want. Prismatic Evolution had them, and then you had a chance at the Demigod Packs. People wanted that. Ascended Heroes has the God Packs. People want that. So that keeps people kind of on their edge. The only thing Pokemon's ever came close to with their serialized numbered card is the Pokemon Center promo cards. They say Pokemon Center on there. They only print so many of them. Technically, that's not it. It could be because Pokemon Center can just ramp up the printers and print those again, but that's as close as we'll get to a serialized numbered card. So, all said and done, been at this for 12 minutes right now. Do I think Pokemon buying Excel is a good thing? I do. I think it's a good thing for the hobby. I don't agree with a lot of people on YouTube about it. I think this will be something where they'll be able to corner distribution a little bit more, which will be great because it's going to get more money in their pocket and it's going to make things more readily available. And I think cheaper for us in the long run, to be honest. I don't think Pokemon likes it that ETBs are $60 right now. I think they really want to get around that $50 price range again. Booster boxes, I think they want those coming out at $160 and they want them on the shelves. So that's kind of my take on it, guys. Pokemon owns a distro center now. They own a trucking company and they own their own printing facility. And remember, they don't just print Pokemon cards at those. They Nikki, Lorcana, Magic the Gathering, One Piece. They print them all. Those they have different slates and blocks. They set the printers up and do that. So, you know, they're working around the clock when they're doing that stuff. But I think Pokemon buying Excel, I think it's a pretty good thing. So, but guys, I'm Soda. Thanks a bunch for watching. I appreciate you all. Thank you so much. And if you have any questions, any comments, just leave a comment below. Email me if you want, but I just can't tell you how appreciative I am. But Soda guys, remember, like, subscribe to the video, or like and subscribe to the channel. And remember, catch them all.